Now let's bring in comedian and satirist Andy Borowitz for his take on this late night mess and Jay's appearance on Oprah. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning, Maggie. You know, we're sitting in like the same configuration as Oprah and Jay,
Yes.
so I'm terrified about what you're going to do to me right now.
Did she kind of have to be hard on him?
She was brutal. She was really, really tough on him. I mean, I think she was relentless, didn't you think? I mean, at one point, I think he admitted that he fathered John Edwards' baby. I mean, it was just a terrifying display, I thought. But, you know, Oprah understands the audience really well, and this is a great soap opera for the audience. Like, Jay and Conan are the new John and Kate. They're like a dysfunctional couple. They're not speaking to each other. They're both hurt. And Oprah understands that. She did a great job, as always.
But isn't it true that you go on Oprah when you have something that you want to ask forgiveness for? Like you've cheated on your wife, or you wrote a memoir that isn't true. It's almost like just by going on, he admitted that he did something wrong.
Well,
I took that away.
A little bit. She is the high priestess of forgiveness. We have to go to the temple of Oprah. I'm not exactly sure what Jay did wrong, but he's being kind of, you know, demonized. He's portrayed as the villain right now. And I think it's because Jay Leno seems to be the man, you know, and we all want to stick it to the man. You know what I'm saying? And Conan, on the other hand, he stands for everybody who's ever been fired and gotten a check for $45 million. so we relate to him. He's the salt of the earth.
He's the everyday guy.
He's keeping it real.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. But Jay did go on there, and he made sure to say, I'm not the victim. This is NBC who decided to do this for ratings. Isn't it a little naive to ask people to believe that he just sat there and said, do whatever you want, NBC. I'll give up the Tonight Show. I'll walk away quietly.
True, but you know, a good strategy in life, Maggie, which I always sort of hew to, is that when in doubt, blame NBC. You can't fail, because they're even seen as the bigger villain than Jay. So I mean, you know, you kind of feel bad for him. She's interviewing him. There's all this ominous music that you usually play when you're interviewing a serial killer. Right. And you know, he's just a comedian. Now maybe he's a little competitive and backstabby, and maybe he wanted his old job back. Who wouldn't? You know, most of us would want a job like that if you're in that business. You know, so I can sort of understand it. He's not pure, but I don't know if we expect him to be.
So how do you think he came out of this?
He came out alive, and that's kind of all we can expect when we go on Oprah, when she's in that Oprah mode. But the fact is, you know, underneath all the tough grilling, these two people have a lot in common. Oprah is the #1 most popular person on TV, and you know who #3 is? Jay Leno.
Jay Leno, so he's still very popular.
He's still very popular. They're good friends, and they're both billionaires. So after all the grilling is over, I think they got a lot in common.
They went out on their yacht and had a drink or something. I don't know.
Something like that.
All right, we're out of time. I think it's NBC's fault, so I got to let you go.
Thanks, Maggie.